Mm. Good morning. Okay, let me share my link. And David, welcome. Yes, good to see you. Let me just share my link and then we'll start. 1 second. So annoyed about that short yesterday, huh? Typical Bitcoiner. Just, it punishes you. It just keeps on going up until you finally give up. And it drops. It drops. So annoying. What can I say? I don't even know if we were early. I don't think we were that early, to be honest with you. I don't think we were. I think we were okay. Video comments. No. Just sharing this link and then I can start and see, you know, what I'm going to do. Just going to figure it out. All right. I've shared the link. Start now. So I did a live stream yesterday, for those of you who didn't notice. And I just redid my whole analysis in my yesterday's live stream. So I think it's not a bad idea if anyone just wants to get all the levels and stuff. Just go into my channel. Oh, is that the wrong one? Yep. Yeah. And I've cut it into a video here. BTC higher time frame analysis. Everything looks bullish. Okay. On the most part, ignore the titles. They're just kind of trying to capture the audience. Just focus on the content. I'm not really giving bias, but it's a good to look at the video because I give all of the levels of support and resistance. I break it down, okay? And I just give all the numbers. I go through the whole charts. And I did that the whole thing last night. And then in the end of that video, I come up with some trade ideas. Obviously this one, which was a local time frame, didn't react. And so when it comes to trading, it's always about the reaction. That one didn't react. That one didn't work either. And the concept is to create trade plans or trading ideas. And then if the price action matches your idea, then you'll take the trade. And if it doesn't, it doesn't matter. And so I think that video would be a good one just to get all the kind of different levels marked down, if anyone's interested, to see where the key levels are. But fundamentally, when it comes to trading, it's always, you always have to wait for some kind of reaction. You never take the trades willy-nilly. And if there's no reaction, like for example, look, this is yesterday's price action last night. And I had this idea for a local long here. And as you can clearly see, as the price came through this local trend line, no reaction. See there, there's no reaction. Okay. So when there's no reaction, you don't take the trade at all. You wait. And there was literally no reaction, so there was no trade to be had. And so to all intents purposes, you can just delete that idea and move on. Okay, it's not a big deal. Just move on. Okay, I had an SFP short idea, which is very simple, but looking at the charts in hindsight, what I'm looking at is this was the actual short on this pivot here. I took that short. I was stopped out. And actually, the problem is that if you take tight invalidations, you can get stopped out the second time. and a third time and a fourth time. And if you look at the price action here, how many times were shorts liquidated as the price moved up in yesterday's movement? You see, there's one liquidation here, there's another one here, there's another one here, and there's another one here, and then this local one here. It's like five shorts stopped out with tight invalidations until finally you had a breakdown. Okay, and it's yesterday I actually took 3 shorts. The positions that I took were significantly less than I would, because I knew that this was happening, and by the time the price did break down, I was asleep. So that's just trading. It just happens. It's not unusual for you to be right, for someone to be right, and yet the price to move when they're asleep, or to finally miss the last entrance. And so it's good to look at the previous price action and to look at what could have been improved, and possibly, you know, having an invalidation up here would have been the best strategy. It looked like it was going up, but in hindsight is always 2020. When you look at the short, it was probably that from this SFP, wide invalidation to the top, and that's your trade probably. Yeah, so even though you can have a tight invalidation, but you risk getting stopped out, but you have a higher ROI, and that's why people have tight invalidations, because they're willing to be stopped out, but then when the price moves, they suddenly make a ton of money in that move. So it all depends on your risk versus reward strategy, and whether you're going for a high risk, high reward, or maybe slightly lower risk, but you're just waiting for you have a better, wider invalidation. So what am I thinking now? Well, I mean, it's basically the same as what I was saying in my video yesterday. The charts look off the chart bullish, off the charts bullish. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that this pullback wasn't expected. It was very much it was expected. Yeah. Why would there not be a pullback? If you look at the 3-month candle, the last 3-month candle which printed, this was at the end of December, and it opened in January. Yeah, there was a pullback. And how far was the pullback from the candle open to close to open? There was a almost 9% pullback on that candle. Okay, why would there not be a pullback? This is the most extreme bullish scenario here. Even in the most extreme bullish scenario, you still had a 3.5% pullback. This one, you had a 2% pullback. This is the only one that you didn't have a pullback. It just went straight up. So I think a pullback was expected. Now the question is going to be how far. Okay, I think it's a question on everyone's mind, and I'm not thinking that far, to be honest with you. Don't think that this is now going to go to the floor. I think that would be a mistake for people to have that idea. It may go to the floor, but I just don't think it is. And the reason why I don't think it is because we've printed a brand new weekly level here. Do you see that? This is a weekly level. I marked it off yesterday. Okay. We're into right now the previous all-time high. For all intents and purposes, if this previous all-time high holds a support, then we're not going lower. It's really that simple. As long as this holds a support, we're not going lower. And if we go lower, we have this weekly level, which I think is extremely strong. The reason why I think it's extremely strong is because we have a lot of important levels at that level. So let me just identify, or let me just show you what I'm talking about. So that's the long that I'm thinking of. So we have a weekly level at that long area. So let me just bring it back up. That's it there. So we have an untapped weekly level there. And then what's really important is this point of control. This point of control on this whole range. I think that's really important. So we've lost this, we're losing this local volume range. Now we haven't lost it yet. As you can see, if I zoom in, okay, don't get too bearish. And it does look like a head and shoulders pattern. Everyone can see that. But don't get overly bearish just because we've lost the value area, or we're about to lose the value area. And if I do a range pull here, a volume range pull here, let me just have a look at the volume and see if there's any significant. Let me go to the hourly chart. Let me see if it's changed much. Not much. A little bit higher on the value area. Lower on the value area. Lower and higher. So it's slightly wider value area. For all intents and purposes, there's no change. We're just at the bottom of this range. If you look at the range, you see that we're at the bottom of the range. It looks like a head and shoulders, but not really. I don't know. I don't think so. It's not a clean head. It's not like what you would expect with a head and shoulders. I think the right shoulder's too high, to be honest with you. It's not looking bearish in that sense. For me, it just looks like we're in the range. And yesterday's stream, I just said, you know, we're basically in the range. And if you see how the price has moved, it's gone from top to bottom to top to bottom to top to bottom. That's what's happening. There's no reason to think that this isn't now going to go back to the top. And effectively what's happening is that the price is ranging and it's range bound. Now, that doesn't mean the price isn't going to go lower. And actually, I wouldn't mind if it goes lower, because that would be a really amazing entry for a long. So I have this long idea here. It's at this weekly level, which is also at the overall range point of control. And if I do a volume pull on the overall range now, just to see if the volume's changed at all. I don't think it has, but okay, so the value area low is slightly higher. The point of control slightly lower, doesn't really make any difference. Value area high is slightly higher. It's not really nothing to write home about. Yeah, I think that would be good. Look at that. And then, of course, it lines up with a fib. It won't be the golden pocket. It will line up with some kind of the 382 of this whole move. So you've got a weekly level, you've got a point of control, you've got the 382. I don't see why it wouldn't react off the 382. Slightly lower, you also have this naked monthly point of control and naked daily point of control. So you have a lot of confluence in this kind of area. You could have a slightly wider invalidation, and I don't see why the price can't find support here. Okay, the question which I was asking yesterday is, do you get enough of a reaction to lose this previous all-time high? If we lose it, let's just say for the sake of argument, we kind of have a weak reaction here and we lose it. If you have a reaction here to go up, can you get back in, or do you get rejected? That's the question, really. Is there enough of a buy up in this area to push the price in back into that range? If that was to happen, that would be extremely bullish, because you're losing a higher range, you're getting rejection from a key support level, and then you're finding acceptance back into that range. That's going to be an extremely powerful bullish reaction if the price were to drop. Or if you get a big reaction, if we go down and the price finds resistance off this previous all-time high, then that's not going to look as bullish as one might imagine. We might still be looking for another test, or maybe look, and I think probably another test would be more likely than not. It may happen like this. This correction could be much deeper than people imagine. This drop, you still go up. You still go up to back test this previous all-time high, find resistance, and you just come back to test it one more time. Yeah, that's also possible, where you just kind of finding support over a slightly longer period, and then you still get bought up. And the key to knowing how strong this is getting back into this upper range, getting back above this previous bull market all-time high. Okay, that's how you know, right? And no one can predict how the price is going to react or move. But I do think that this level here is probably going to show a really strong reaction if the price comes down into this area. I think that'll be a really amazing opportunity to buy. I'm not thinking lower right now. I don't see why I should be thinking lower when we haven't even lost this level of area of support. And I don't even know if we're going to go down. Like, I can't at the moment. I don't really see that. I just see that we're in a range. We're above the previous bull market all-time high. We've clearly come into some kind of previous support level. We're holding support. If we get back into the value area, we're probably heading back up to the value area high, probably. Yeah, that's probably what's happening right now. It looks bearish, but I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that bearish at all. I don't think it's bearish at all. It doesn't look bearish to me. But I'm looking for this. This is the real golden opportunity, and it's worth setting an alert. And if it does present itself, it's worth taking that. It's worth going for it. That would be really amazing opportunity. If for some unknown reason we don't find support there, and it's always possible, you know, just because there's a lot of support there, it's always possible that we don't find support. Then I think it would start to look really bearish. If we can't find support here, I think there'd be something very wrong. Yeah. I think there'd be something very wrong, actually. And it could be anything. No one knows the why. It would be very weird. So if for some reason we don't really find support, flip it into resistance, then you're probably heading down to this value area low. That's probably where you're heading. Okay, so that's probably the next area of interest. That will be the golden pocket. So you've got two areas of interest, and in between I wouldn't even bother. This is the main one, but the next one would be lower, and that would probably be your next great trade. Right back up to the point of control like that. This is a big if. I'm not like saying this is going to happen, but if it did, that's where you would look to long. This is the value area low. It's at a naked weekly point of control, and there's a daily level there. So you've got quite enough confluence of levels to have a high probability trade for a reaction of that area of interest. Okay, if for some reason we're going lower, okay, then basically my harmonic's in play. Okay, although timing wise I think we really need to get down quicker, but I mean, you never know. This D, I mean, could this D be a little bit more extended? Yeah, it could be a little bit more like that. So this is a big if. The only way we get down here is if we lose this area of interest. No, let me correct myself. If we lose the previous bull market all-time high, if we lose the range point of control, and if we lose the value area low, I think the chances of this playing out are 1,000,000 to 1. Like, I don't even think it's going to happen. I've got it just in case it does, but I don't think it's going to happen. I'm not really taking it seriously at all. If for some reason it did happen, I wouldn't get bearish because I have a bullish harmonic that's in play. And if it completes on time, I would still be bullish. It would just mean that we had a much deeper correction. But I don't think this is going to happen. I think it'd be very weird for that to happen. I've got it just for the sake of if it happens. And in my mind, I'm thinking that would literally, I'm thinking that would be a black swan type event, actually. You'd happily range, it'd be like this. Happily ranging around to this like fib level. I don't know which one. Then suddenly you had this kind of crazy news. I don't know. Something happens in the world. You get like one crazy sell-off, hits your level, and a massive buyback, and you just get a really big wick down into that harmonic. That's what I'm imagining would complete this harmonic. It would go down through your levels, and it would just be brought right back, and it would complete the harmonic. That's the only contemplation of what I think could complete this harmonic in the context of the support levels that are in between. So that's, I'm not actually thinking this is going to happen, but if there was a black swan, that would be the place to buy. Take out the liquidity from this wick. Yeah. As you SFP it. 100x, leverage long. Let's go. That's what I'm going to do. Risk $500 on 100x leverage there. I'll totally do that. Of course I would. On a swing failure entry, I'll totally do that. Because I have a plan. Yeah, I have a plan for that. It'd be worth the risk. The reward would be off the charts because you're expecting that to be your major pivot. I'm not expecting this to happen. I think if there was a black swan, that's what would happen. Because I think it'd be very difficult to lose support levels just like that. You would need a crazy flush, which would be a reaction to some kind of macro event. Good morning, Sebastian. How are you doing? So I'm not expecting this at all, but I mean, I have it just in case, okay? I don't know if it's going to happen on any of these fib times, but, you know, these harmonics, they're not 100%. They're rough. When it comes to Bitcoin, they're rough. You kind of want it to be on a harmonic timing. I would prefer it like here somewhere, but just have to see how that plays out. And this would not be valid if the C is taken out, if we go up. So the only reason why I'm still thinking about this is because we haven't taken out the C. The trade isn't the C, the trade is the D if it comes in on time, all right? And the only way that this would play out in my mind is some sort of a black swan. People would then be going, oh, I told you so, or oh, I knew it, or some kind of bullshit like that. Every time before the Bitcoin halving, there's some kind of black swan event. And the hard part is having a trade plan for that and good areas to accumulate. That would be a 16% correction instantly. But technically, the entry would be, you wouldn't just want to catch a falling knife. As soon as you swing level this point, you could just take that trade. It'd be hard to do. You'd have to have guts of steel. But if you're going to go down really fast through these key support levels, I don't see why we wouldn't go up really fast too. It would be a massive buyback. Okay. And then sometimes what could happen, and then I've seen this before, if, and this is a big if, I don't think this is going to happen. So I'm just planning for the future. That's all, just in case. If, like that. Because you got like strong levels in between. Like you got one there, one here. If you slice through those levels like Swiss cheese, like a hot knife to butter, it'd have to be a fast liquidation flush. Yeah, it'd have to be something like that. It'd be very scary for a lot of people. It goes down as soon as the price comes up. You'd have to take that long. The chances of us going up fast are very high. You'd have a very high probability chance. If we go down really fast, you'd have a very high probability of chance of going up really fast too. And then all you end up with on a higher time frame is a nice small body with a massive wick with a really massive volume. And most people will be like kicking themselves for why they didn't take the long. And that's what I'm thinking. The chances of that happening are low. But if it does happen, that's where you would take the long, right? Otherwise, forget about it. We haven't lost support now. We're still above the previous bull market all-time high. We're still in this range. And as long as we don't lose this kind of range, we could range here for a while. And then see what happens. Probably, if we hold support here, if we continue to hold support, I expect the price will go up. I don't expect, this isn't bearish consolidation. The direction of travel is up. This is consolidation underneath resistance, holding a reclaimed level of support. That's what this is. This is bullish consolidation, okay? This isn't bearish consolidation. So as long as it continues, then I expect the price to go up. I'm not expecting the price to drop. I think for the price to drop, you would want it to happen now relatively soonish. You know, we've had a little bit of a sell-off, increasing volume. The question now is there continuation for lower prices? Yeah. If there isn't, then we're just still in the range. So now is a good opportunity for bears to push the price down. We are into a daily level now. You can see that. And if we do go lower, then you're going straight into a weekly level and a weekly order block. And we're already in the weekly red candle. So there's a shit ton of support. I'm not very bearish. I'm very bullish. I'm mega bullish. I just think it's an opportunity now in this month to accumulate as much crypto as possible. You know, if people want to play it safe, then Bitcoin would be the one. But you know, when I look at higher time frame, we had a really powerful close above the previous bull market all-time high on the monthly time frame. This candle is a continuation candle on the monthly time frame. It's not a topping candle. Yeah, it's a nice wide body. You've got the wicks pretty much even on both sides. That's not the end. That's not the top. That's my point. Top wouldn't look like that. Even if we end up with a red candle now, it still wouldn't be the top, just simply because we have a lot of room to get back down to this previous level. Even if this red candle ended down here for the next month, it would still be fine. You know, even if this candle went all the way down here and ended up with some kind of red hammer closing above 50%, I think it would still be fine. Just in itself, I'm not seeing a topping pattern yet. And I think when you're looking at Bitcoin, look at the tops. Yeah, study the tops. These are the monthly tops, and you had a swing failure of both of the highs on those tops. You didn't have a swing failure here, but we had a really overextended selling tail. It was much more extended, further extended than the buying tail. It wasn't balanced. It was very bearish. And in any case, you had a confirmation candle. You had two confirmation candles that showed really strong selling pressure in the highs. These all, it gave you an indication. I'm not seeing a top here, so I wouldn't get worried. You know, we look at the 3-month candles. That's also a really powerful bullish candle. Getting a little bit pullback. That's normal. All right. Any questions? If you're interested, I did a video on the USDT yesterday. Just going, it's not a long video. I think it's worth watching if you want. It's only 18 minutes, but basically I did it live. But I'll kind of go over the highlights now. What we're seeing on the USDT chart, the USDTD chart, it is a bump and run. We're in a bump and run right now to the downside. So the bump and run is a reversal pattern, and we've confirmed the run. We're in the run right now. Okay. This is the bump and run. I went over it yesterday. See, look, bump and run reversal. So if you look at this trend line, we have the lead in. This is the lead in. This is the lead in. You see that? That's from here to here. This is the lead in. Then you have this much steeper trend line. That's called the bump. That's the bump. Then you lose the bump trend line. And as you lose the main trend line, and here not only have we lost it, we've back tested it. That's when the run begins. See that? So we've only really just started the bump and run on a higher time frame, going back all the way through to February 18 on USDTD, USDT dominance. And my target is the value area low, because we've lost the volume area as support. We're back in the volume area. And when I think about this pattern, I don't necessarily think that we're just going to stop at any one of these areas of interest. Like the point of control would be a very important area of interest, but really I'm thinking to myself, you're back in the value area, you've lost the value area high. We might find support temporarily, but why don't we head to the lows into the golden pocket? That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking actually it will be good to see the timing of when USDTD comes in to the value area low. And then the question then is, what happens next? Do we kind of flag for a breakdown just to make one final push to get down to where this trend began? And in my mind, that would be perfect. Because if you look at this idea, it basically, the price gets all the way back to where the trend begins. And in my imagination, when I'm looking at the charts, I'm thinking that this is where the trend begins, at about 0.52%. It'd be very difficult to lose the value area just like that. So I think we need to kind of do something to lose it. And then the question is, do you just lose it and drop and then come back up? Or do you get some kind of failed auction like that, you know? So a bit of a deviation from the range, but you don't really lose it. I would prefer something like this. This would, in my mind, if this is timed correctly, and obviously the timings here are incorrect because I've got it on June 27. This is all incorrect, the timings. I'd be looking for a much steeper descent. This is just an idea of price action, but obviously I'm thinking much steeper. Just the time, it has the time right with Bitcoin. Yeah, this is all timed with Bitcoin, so don't take the timings literally. I'm just thinking about the movement. Okay, if I think that if it's timed right with Bitcoin, you could, and if you do have a consolidation above this value area low and then you lose it, I think it's very possible that we have some kind of sell-off which will go into Bitcoin, which would end up with a blow off top on Bitcoin. And so if we do lose that area of interest, I will be looking to complete this pattern, and that will be my exit. Yeah, so I'll be using this as confluence for confirmation for scaling out of crypto towards the right time at the end of the Bitcoin bull market. Yeah, I'm not just going to be stupid, and as USDTD comes into major levels of support, probably at the value area low, and just think to myself, well, this is going to go lower. That's pretty much gambling. Be a lot safer than say, well, this is a major take profit for me. USDTT has come into support. Sure, it might go lower, but this is a good place on the higher time frame to take profit. You know, that would be a good place if we do get that. And also I think the point of control would be a good place too. I don't see why you wouldn't take profit in point of control. You could get a really nice pullback, and then you could compound your profit on the higher time frame back into crypto as the USDT comes to a higher time, higher level to find resistance if there's a pullback. The other thing you can do with USDT is really easy, is just do like a higher time frame fib pull. You see that the levels kind of coincide. Yeah, the 236 is lining up with the value area high, the 382 is lining up with this high volume node, the 50% is lining up with the point of control, the value area low is lining up with the golden pocket, and then these lower levels are in empty space. And I'm not thinking that we're going lower than 0.52%. That wouldn't, in my mind, that doesn't make sense because of this bump and run pattern. Okay, so it's definitely a good idea to keep an eye on this. I will be keeping an eye on this, and this is what I have in mind. But I did an analysis on this, but I mean, this is a little bit of an update just in case you missed that. All right, TRVL. My bane, but my joy. TRVL is following Bitcoin, but TRVL is more bullish than Bitcoin, I think. We had a really amazing 3-month time frame candle close yesterday, and I just want to tell people what this means. The meaning is really important. Basically, yesterday's candle, the 3-month candle, we closed. This is on Max, but we closed at 9.1 cents. the launch price is 9 cents. When you close at 0.91 cents, that means that people are willing to hold their TRVL above 9 cents. That's what it means. It means they're not selling into the next candle, they're holding into the next candle. So everyone who accumulated in this whole lower range was willing to hold their TRVL into the next candle at above 9 cents. The meaning is really important. Yeah, we can't lose sight of the meaning of a close above a really important level, which is the launch price, which is the 9 cents mark. Okay, doesn't mean we're not going to get a pullback, and pullbacks in the markets are very healthy. Okay, but the meaning of that close is very important. This is the highest close that we've had. Let me have a look. This is the highest close that we've had on a 3-month candle since the launch. Yeah, this is Gate. You can see that on Gate, on the launch, we closed at 28 cents. I think on MEX is pretty much similar, about 28 cents. Yeah, so they're all the same. Obviously, KuCoin is different because it launched slightly later, so you don't have that initial launch close. But in the whole of this, chart from its inception to now, this is the highest 3-month close that we've had. That's a really powerful signal. And when you look at the volume, it's back to a volume. It isn't a low volume rise, it's an increasing volume rise. So it's a genuine healthy rise. Yeah, this candle is legit. Like, that's what I see. It's a real interest in this token. People are holding, and you've got a lot of interest, increasing interest in this token in TRVL. Okay, it's the highest close except for launch. Yeah, and if you think of the context of when TRVL launched, we launched at the end of the Bitcoin bull market when everything was crashing. You see, this initial launch candle closed at December 21. Yeah, and if I was to go to Bitcoin to December 21, here, look at it. It was a massive sell-off, and then it was followed by a dump. Okay, it was a massive sell-off in Bitcoin, and effectively this token launched where Bitcoin peaked with the second all-time high. Okay, you see that was when this coin launched. And when you're looking at here, this is when Bitcoin dropped the first time, and this second candle was the dump, was the Bitcoin dump. Okay, this is the highest close we've had. This is a really powerful bullish reversal candle. We've come back above 9 cents. We're kind of underneath it now, but you buy these candles. Yeah, you don't buy the top, you scale into these candles. These are the candles that you scale into. You wait for effectively what you do is you wait for red candles to end. As soon as you get a green candle, you start buying because you see the selling has stopped. Now that we're seeing continuation with the buying, you'd scale into that. You would scale into these green candles, and until the price finally reaches its destination. No one can predict that. We can speculate it, but we can't predict it. And again, you see this monthly candle. It's a really powerful, strong candle close. Okay, on all of these charts, it's powerful. You see on Gate, we actually closed above the wick into this monthly level. On KuCoin, look, we closed above the wick. Again, it's a strong close, really strong close, just underneath this previous monthly level. I think Bybit was slightly lower. Okay, but pretty much saying the same thing. And what's interesting is that we had a strong close on all of the charts above 9 cents. It's really powerful signal. What does that mean? I think it means that we're about to see the final correction. Yeah. And no one can predict the correction. No one knows how far and deep it's going to be. We're still in an uptrend. You know, the idea of this Adam and Eve pattern hasn't been invalidated. We have a nice sharp V here, and we have a really nice rounding bottom here. We're still in that idea, and potentially what we're experiencing now is the final dip. The final dip. In the next 2 to 3 weeks, we may be experiencing the final dip on TRVL before we take the next level up. That will be a higher high on the weekly time frame, and then effectively you'll be completing the next stage of this Wyckoff accumulation. And I'm thinking my next target, my next higher time frame target is the 28 cents mark. I think after a powerfully strong candle like this, why would we not pull back a little bit and then push up to 28 cents? Where would that be? That would be here. Maybe 30 cents here. That's what I'm kind of aiming for. Next candle. Let's take it. Let's go all the way up there, if possible. Okay. I'm not foreseeing a red candle, to be honest with you. I'm not foreseeing a next 3-month red candle. I don't know what the monthly candle is going to look like. If it is a red candle, it would be a very nice place to buy. But I'm not actually foreseeing I'm not foreseeing a drop below this wick here. Probably somewhere around here. I'm thinking somewhere like there. Just where this candle divides. And the reason why I'm thinking maybe that's as far as we can go. And who knows, like we're back into the weekly level now. If we do pull back that far, this is Mexa. Let me go back to KuCoin. No one knows how this is going to correct. Yeah, no one knows how this is going to behave. But let's just say for the sake of argument, we do have a pullback. I think the back testing this GAN would be an area of interest for me. Back testing this GAN and then kind of back testing a local golden pocket. And I think that would, for me, that would coincide with, on the 3-month time frame, coming back into the top of this area here, just to kind of fill the gap before continuation. That's normal, you know, when candles go up, they kind of come back to find support before they continue. That's all that I'll be looking for in the price action. So yesterday we had a nice buy up. That's strength. And you know, I don't know what's going to happen here. Could this just find support here? I don't know. Yeah, and the problem is that everything is a reaction to Bitcoin at the moment. And I don't know, people are like maybe market selling, but it's not the right strategy for a token like this. The strategy is to buy the dips, buy the dips, buy the dips. When people want to sell, they have to sell higher up, where there's a lot more interest and a lot more liquidity in the token, and probably when it's on launching on more exchanges, so the volume has increased. So if you do set orders to sell, you don't have to market sell to get your orders filled. You can just set limit orders at the current price and you can get your fills. Yeah, right now people are trying to get filled, and that's why they're market selling, because they think that the only way to get filled is to market sell, because the volume is still, relatively speaking, quite low, and so they want to fill, and so they're selling at market. But in doing so, the price moves by 8%. This is all low volume. This isn't in it. This isn't high volume drops. This is on KuCoin, 84,000 tokens. Yeah, 84,000 tokens, and the price of the token drops 4%. That's really low volume. If you think about it, it's not the correct way to sell. And the only reason that the price is moving and behaving this way is because the volume is low. Okay, but the strategy when the volume is low is to buy, is to keep on buying the dips, not to sell, until eventually, when you look at the overall higher time frame, you see that we're making, this is basically bullish continuation and bullish market structure. Eventually, when we get to higher prices, I think the volume will increase significantly, and then it'll be a lot easier to sell without market selling. I don't think it's a good strategy if people are selling right now. There's no reason to panic. Look at that. Now, maybe some people are thinking, okay, I can sell now and I can buy back low. Yeah, that's always possible. But I think people would only do that if they're all in. Like if you've got money, if you're not all in, you don't need to do that, because you can always buy the dip. And then when your price goes up, you can rebalance your portfolio so you still have fiat without moving the price to the downside. That would be a much better strategy. But we've only just begun. I mean, Bitcoin hasn't halved. And I really think this is a really important, something really important happened yesterday, is because Bitcoin, before the Bitcoin halving, TRVL managed to close above 9 cents, which is the launch price. I never really expected that, to be honest with you. I wasn't really thinking when I started streaming back in December and before December, when I was tweeting a lot about TRVL. I don't know if I thought that I would see this kind of price action. You know, you never know. Like, you can't predict the future. But I see a lot of interest now picking up in this token. I see a lot of interest. The watch lists have gone up. I don't know if I can find them. I'll see if I can find them. They've gone up to like 7,000. Let me see if I can find it. Probably can't. One is 7.1. 107.1. Doesn't have watch lists, huh? I don't know where to find them. But someone sent me an image, and the watch lists have gone up. Can you see it here? Anyway. Yeah, I've got it here actually. So someone sent me this image. I'll show you. I don't know where it is though. Okay, there it is. You can't see it though, it's stupid. Copy image. Yeah, I'll just paste it here. Look at that. Someone sent me that image, so sorry, I had to copy and paste it. But here it is, look, 7,361. In December we were on 5,000, or just over like 5,500 or something. So in the last quarter we've gone up about 2,000. That's really good. That's growth as well. So the interest in this token is picking up. That's what you want. You want people to have it on their watch lists. Yeah, I think if you're looking to pick this up, wait for the price to slow down. Wait for Bitcoin to find support and then buy. Or what would be a better strategy is just put limit orders. Yeah, limit orders. And actually what you can see here, I mean, it looks like a it looks like a Head and Shoulders, right? Looks like a Head and Shoulders. But these kind of patterns are ripe to be destroyed. If you go down, find support, and then come back up, then you're going up. Yeah, it's kind of like Bitcoin. If you invalidate a bearish pattern, then the price will fly the other way. So just because it looks a little bit like a Head and Shoulders, I wouldn't get too bearish, especially when you're going right back into support. And I think the golden pocket is going to be a good place to pick this token up. It'll be the back test of this scan. And then the other thing you could do is do a volume pool, and you can see you're coming into the value area low as well. It's slightly lower at about 6.2 cents. So the buying will start from about 7 cents through to 6.2. Is going to come into strong support. And as long as you don't take out this low, we're good, because that's the higher low. Higher low, higher high. Just come in to make a nice higher low somewhere, and then we'll go up to make another higher high. Okay, and hopefully that will be the next impulse. Okay, and then I was looking at the Elliott waves yesterday. Look at that. I should stop drawing, you know, because sometimes it's uncanny how the price sometimes does what I want. Sometimes it doesn't. But I still have the price going down, so I don't want it to go down, but you know. I think we're seeing a correction here. I think none of this, even though it looks quite impulsive, that was your wave 3. I think this whole thing is a correction. I'm not sure. I'm not really seeing the, I mean, potentially that we've had 5 waves here, and this is the wave 5 actually. But I wasn't fond of this last bit here. And it's really hard with Elliott waves when you're in a low liquidity environment and the price moves the way it is moving now. What is possible is we did have 5 waves. Like that. That is possible. I'm not fond of that, but I mean, it's possible. And now we're in a correction. I don't know. I don't really like that last wave, to be honest with you. Did go into the golden pocket. It was a very weak 5. possibly that was it. This whole one has been very weak, to be honest with you. Even though on a higher time frame it looks strong, I think this whole one has been very weak. And what I'll be expecting as the bull market continues is, so I'm expecting a much stronger 3, and then I'm expecting a really crazy 5. Okay, that's what I'm expecting on this token. I always thought that the 1 would be the weakest. So let me go back to my waves. Let's just say that's that. This is the 2. This 1 would be the weakest if the 3. So we have to see where the 3 gets to. The 3 has to be longer than the 1, and I'm expecting a really crazy 5. I think 5 is the 1. It'd be nice to get above the 8-1 on the 3. What would be really nice is with the 3, if we can get as high as possible to get through all of this resistance, so that the next one, the 5, can be into price discovery. And I'm thinking to myself that if Bitcoin can go to higher figures, then, you know, with these tokens we can go higher. That's what I'm thinking. Right, any questions on that? Excuse me. I think it's a good idea, if you're looking to pick up this token, to set limit orders and absorb the price. That'll be really bullish if we can just exhaust the sellers, because the selling is a low volume selling. It's not heavy selling. Yeah, it's not going to take much volume to prevent the price from going down. Now, some people might be thinking to themselves, I want the price to go down because I want to get cheaper token. I think in the scale of things, when you're accumulating and when you have a higher time frame mindset, then having a flat correction is more bullish than a deep correction. Okay, so if we're all in the mindset of higher time frame accumulation, of holding or hodling until the end of the bull market, then let's try and go for flat corrections. And to get flat corrections, we have to absorb the sellers. This is low volume selling. Yeah, it won't take much in terms of limit orders to prevent the price from collapsing. Yeah, it really wouldn't take much. It's a lot healthier to have a flat correction than these kind of sudden drops and deep corrections. Zahid Shah is saying TRVL is a very risky coin. Absolutely not. It's the least riskiest coin out there. Why do you think it's risky? I'd like to hear your explanation. I can give you my explanation. We can have a conversation about that. There's no risk in my mind because of the product that they've developed, that they're building. What is the risk that you're worried about? I'd like to hear your answer. As far as I can see in the charts, we've got increasing volume, increasing prices. The charts are telling me that this is bullish, that there's increasing demand in this token, and we're experiencing some bullish patterns, an Adam and Eve pattern. This is on Bybit. Let me go back on MEX. I'll show you. Oh, 70% still locked. Okay. I'm going to address that for you. I think you have to understand what that means first. Like, it, just because people in their mind think, okay, 70% still locked, therefore the value is going to decrease. by 70%. Yeah. So what he's saying is 70% locked. Okay, so let's go to the website and I'm going to explain it for you. Okay. Here. This is what you're talking about. Circulating supply and total supply. Okay. So you're talking about the vesting schedule. And eventually all of this supply is all of these tokens are gonna come onto the supply. Okay. Well, this isn't gonna happen in the bull market. Yeah. I wish I had the graph to show you. I don't. Unless I can find it. Let me see if I can find it actually. 1 second. I'm just quickly looking through Telegram to see if I can find it. So there's a it says there's a 5-year lockup. But I want to find the graph. Hold on. Because I've seen a graph and I'm just going to show you. Okay, here it is. Let me just if you're still there, let me just go to, let me change my window to Telegram. Okay, can you see that? So we're basically here. Do you see this plateau? I don't know if you can see that. I can't see it. I've opened it up. Okay, what I'm going to do is do it like this. Do it slightly different. Wait, give me a second. Let me go back to my other window. Because I want you to see this. Can you see that? Yes. So we are in this plateau now, and basically these dates were delayed by 1 year. Okay. So this is incorrect because this is the old token schedule. And we're now in this plateau. Do you see this plateau? We're in the plateau now. Do you see where the token vesting schedules goes up? That's after the bull market. So it's all delayed by a year. Okay. So at the moment, this is the 1st of July. 23. I think it's more than a year actually. So let me just go back to Telegram. Let me have a look. I'm going to show you. Okay. So here it is. So you can see it. Oh no, you probably can't. Telegram desktop. It's because I've got it open like that. How do I get it off this Telegram desktop? How annoying. Oh yeah, there it is. I'm gonna close it. There. Right, see that? So followed by you see it says followed by a 12-month pause. Now I'm trying to get those guys to update this, yeah, but the whole schedule was delayed by 12 months. And not all unlocked tokens will enter circulating supply. And then the other thing you have to bear in mind is that when it goes into circulating supply, it's not going into circulation. It's going into either the community treasury, the community growth fund, or the foundation reserve. And those funds are going to grow the network. Yeah. The value of a token is always in the value of the network and the growth of the network. There's a correlation between the network effect and the value of the token. And so even though you're saying, well, there's only 300 or whatever million in circulation, it's going to go up by another 700 million. First of all, if you look at the trajectory, it's not all going to happen at once. Yeah. And there's a 12-month delay. You see the 12-month pause. And most of that is going to go into the growth funds, which aren't going to be in circulation anyway. Okay. It's just the way I'm just explaining it to you. Now you might be thinking to yourself that that's not good. But let's just be realistic about most people. Most people are going to be selling towards the end of the bull market. You're not going to be holding all the way through to all of the tokens are going to be released. Okay, number one. Number two, you see, it doesn't go up to from 300 million to a billion overnight. It's and then all of that is not going into circulation. It's going into the community treasury, the foundation reserve, these two, or the community growth fund. The community growth fund is for growing the network. The community treasury is for growing the network. So as you grow the network, the value of the token is going to go up exponentially. There's an exponential relationship to the network effect and the value of any token. The really bearish part, if you want to think about bearishness, if you look at this graph, the seed sale, the strategic sale, and 1 and 2, they're already in circulation. Yeah, this green one here, this blue one here, and this yellow one here is already in circulation. There's no more tokens being released through strategic sales, through fundraising. Yeah. The ones that are going to be released are going to come into the community growth fund, and the community treasury. That is going to go directly to growing the network, which is going to increase the value of the token exponentially, proportionately, but exponentially, in accordance to the network effect. And then the last one is the foundation reserve, and the foundation reserve is basically the runway, is basically to make sure that the project has longevity. And so, of course, at the peak of the bull run, the foundation reserve could sell some tokens to have a strategic fund for continuation, for continued developer spending and developers and growth. Okay. The last one, the one that's really bearish, if you want to think about bearish distribution, is contributors and advisors. And if you look at this graph, remember this graph is delayed by a year. So the timings on this are delayed by a year. You'll see that they're not actually getting much in the scale of things. And actually most of their reward comes much later and well past the bull market. Yeah. It's not actually in the duration of bull market, they're not getting much. That would be bearish. If suddenly the contributors and the advisors suddenly got a lot of token just before the peak of the bull market, that would be quite bearish. But that's not correct. Your information is unfortunately incorrect. And I don't know if you have any more questions, but you're saying to me it's a risky coin. I don't see risk here because the tokens being released are for the community growth fund, the community treasury, and that is for the growth of the network. And if you look at the tokenomics schedule, the tokenomics document that was recently published, and let me bring it up so you can see. So they've recently launched a brand new tokenomics document. And let me just find it for you somewhere. Where is it? I can find it. Why is it not on this page, huh? It should be on this page. It's probably here. Light paper, is it there? Night protocol. Okay, let me just delete that. Okay, so there it is. No wonder you couldn't find it. Here it is. TRVL tokenomics. This is a brand new tokenomics document for TRVL. Completely revised. It's not implemented yet. They're building it now. Okay, hopefully soon. They go into the explain the reasons why. Yeah, it's a light paper. They go into explaining what they're trying to do. And then they give you an image of the value. And look, this is the economy that's being built. And to fund that economy, you're going to be using the Community Growth Fund to fund that economy, because this is how you're going to grow. But the value is in the network. The network value is going to be exponentially more valuable than tokens coming into circulation. That's what we have to understand. And this is going to grow the network. And see here, you have burning, and then you have staking. Okay. And then this, the value is going to come in from the usage of the Dtravel protocol that's built, basically. I don't see what you see. Yeah, I don't see the riskiness of what you see. What I'm seeing in the charts isn't I'm not seeing the same thing. Okay, we've made a low, we've made a second low, we're forming a bullish reversal pattern, and we've got increasing volume. When you look at Twitter and go to the Dtravel page, yeah, what do you see? It's a peer-to-peer application, vacation rental ecosystem built on Night Protocol. What is the Night Protocol? Well, this is the document you should be reading. See the Night Protocol there. So actually, let me just paste that in to, I'm going to paste this into here so you can go and do your own research. It's all there. And so what Dtravel are doing is they're solving a real world problem using Web3, and that is going to drive the usage of the solution to a real world problem is going to drive the economy, and it's called the Night Protocol. All the information is there. You can go and have a read for yourself. But more than that, what is Dtravel? Well, look, it's a decentralized physical network, which it is, because you've got vacation rental homes located all over the world. It's real world assets. Well, it is, because you're taking the value of real world transactions and you're tokenizing that value. Now, the Night Protocol describes how vacation rentals bookings or reservations are tokenized, but the tokenomics describes how the value is tokenized. So you're basically taking real world value and you're tokenizing it, and you're bringing it into a tokenized economy. And then AI, no one really knows anything about the AI. It's not obvious, but AI is one of the leading narratives in this bull market. And just wait for that. Yeah, so I'm just giving you a clue. AI is going to be a big feature of what Dtravel does going forward, but it hasn't been released yet. It's going to be released in April, i.e. this month. Yeah, it's called Sensei. So they've actually posted videos about it, but let me show you if I can find a video here. I think they posted videos. Where is it? Is there a video here? Is that it? Nope. Is that it? Nope. Maybe they haven't done the video recently. I'm sure they have. Here it is. Have a look at this video. Well, that doesn't help. What is that? Okay, there's no videos. There is a video, but I don't know where it is. No, that's not it. This is it. Yeah.
Introducing Sensei, the first AI-powered travel companion that helps you discover vacation rentals that can be booked directly with owners and operators anywhere in the world. Select a profile, input your travel preferences, and Sensei AI will recommend directly bookable listings. Traveling to a new location, Sensei will narrow down the search, providing you with personalized listings that match your unique travel profile. Clicking a listing will bring you to an independently owned vacation rental site where you can complete your booking without paying commission fees. Embrace a truly peer-to-peer experience and discover listings that can be booked in fiat or cryptocurrencies. Save time and money booking vacation rentals with Sensei. Introducing Sensei.
All right. This is the AI. No one even knows about it. This is like so hidden. I'm telling you something. This is going to be big. It's going to be really big. I don't know if you're aware, but Airbnb, they acquired an AI startup for $200 million. See, look, this was just at the end of last year, November 14, 23. Airbnb acquires an AI startup for just under $200 million. Okay. And that's what Dtravel is doing. We're an AI startup. But we're more. We're Web3, we're decentralized network, we're real world assets, we're a lot more than what our value is, more than $200 million. This is what Airbnb is saying. Airbnb is valuing what we're doing at the very least $200 million. Okay. I think we're much more than that. And in the contents of a Bitcoin bull market, I think we're going to go higher. Honestly, you know, you can't predict the future. But I see that we have a Adam and Eve bottoming pattern forming. This is your V. That's your rounding bottom. This is the monthly time frame. Once we break the neckline, then I really see higher prices. And I think my minimum target is $5, but I think it all depends on Bitcoin. I think if Bitcoin can get to higher prices, and by higher prices, I mean over, who knows, like no one can predict the future. But I think Bitcoin could get up to about $300,000. Yeah. And it's not just Bitcoin, it's the whole market, the total market cap. Excuse me. So when I look at the total market cap, I have this graph, I have this channel that we're following on the higher time frame. And right now we're at $2.5 trillion. And I think we're probably going to get to $4.5 trillion. And I think if we overextend, we're going to go to $7.3 trillion. I think very possible that a token like Dtravel gets to about 10 billion this round. And that would put us at 23 that will put us about $23 to $25. That's what I think. That's what I'm thinking. It's crazy now. Like you can't, a lot of people can't imagine what I'm imagining. Yeah. But I think once we pass the all-time high there, which is at $1.56, I think it'll be very easy to get to $25. Yeah. That's what I'm imagining right now. And that would only be a $10 billion market cap token, 10 billion. Right now, it feels like a lot, but I'm talking about alt season. I'm talking about alt season where Bitcoin is pushing the highs and also where the total crypto market cap is into the highs. Yeah. So it's hard to conceptualize now. It's hard to imagine now, but in the future, you're going to get a lot of FOMO and you're going to get a lot of people push the prices up. So I'm looking for higher targets. And now is a really good time to accumulate TRVL. And I'm not talking about people going all in. I think people should accumulate. That's all I'm suggesting, accumulation, long-term accumulation. And every time you look at the dips, yeah, obviously not this local price action because this is obviously a correction. You can see there's a little bit of a correction, like a flag forming. It's not bearish, that's bullish. But when you're looking at the price action, you can see that we're making higher lows. And at the moment, we're making higher highs. Okay, so we have a trend. So I'm really bullish on this, okay? For the next 2 years, well, just be aware that I think the Bitcoin bull market could be quite short this time round. So I'm not thinking 2 years, I'm thinking 1 year at the moment. Okay. And I'm thinking $5 at the very least. I'm looking at $5. And so the way I come up with my targets is on the log chart from the all-time high to the all-time low. I do a full extended log chart on the fib, full extended fib on the log chart. So you do an extension from the all-time high to the all-time low on the log chart, and it gives you the 2.272, which is at $5.1. It gives you the 1.414, which is at $9.6, and it gives you the 1.618. That would be extended at $23.4. Okay, so technically, I'm thinking if we overextend, then I'll be looking at $23, and it all depends on how far we extend. Yeah, this is the all-time high at $1.56. So I don't see a reason why we don't hit the all-time high from where we are now. So right now we're trading at 8 cents. So I don't see any reasons why we don't get to the all-time high. That's a 20x from where we are now. So I am at the very least expecting a 20x, slightly less. No, 20x, just under 20x to the all-time high. But I think if you take the all-time high, you're in price discovery. And in price discovery, the price will go up quite fast because people who are buying at $1.5 or $6 will be holding for higher. They'll be looking for $5 or $9. Yeah. And so it becomes very, very profitable and lucrative for people who are hodling at the lows here. Yeah. If you're able to hodl from where we are now, from lower all the way up to 5 or 9 or even higher at $23, then it's going to be very profitable. It's hard to hodl. It's not easy to hodl. Yeah. And people, people get phased. When you get these corrections, it's not easy. It's not easy to hodl when you get deep corrections. Like, look, from 12 cents to where we are now, that's a 33% correction. For a lot of people, that's difficult. I think it'll be a lot easier the higher we go. Okay. I am too optimistic. No, dude, I'm not optimistic. When I look at other AI tokens, yeah, let's have a look at some AI tokens. Okay, let's have a look. Let's have a look at Fetch. Okay, now this is, maybe this isn't Fetch, or maybe it is. Like, every token starts off somewhere and ends up somewhere. But from Fetch, from the all-time low to where we currently are, it's up 384x. Okay, now to be fair, Fetch was launched in the last bull market, so forget about the last bull market. Let's just focus on the current bull market. Just ignore the last bull market. It's up 54x from the all-time low. 54x. Yeah, that's just Fetch. If you look at the other one, which is Ajax, okay, again, forget about the last bull market, because obviously it was much lower. But from the current bull market, from the low to the current price, you're up 379x. When I look at TRVL, yeah, from the all-time low to the current price, we're only up 3x. Yeah, so TRVL is up 3x, and other AI tokens are up 300x or more. Nah, I think in the context, so Zahid is saying TRVL depends on inflation, economy, BTC, currency, interest rates, finance, job situation. TRVL only depends on one thing, two things, maybe three things. First and foremost, it's Bitcoin. Bitcoin is really important. It's the most important underpinning factor in the whole of the crypto markets. It's Bitcoin. Yeah. So this is the month of the halving. Bitcoin is already at the all-time high. And a lot of people are expecting Bitcoin at the very least, from where we are now, to 2x at the very least, probably up to about 120, 130, who knows exactly where, but somewhere in the low hundreds at the very least. Okay, that's number one. Number two, the narrative of the crypto market is really important. So right now, if you look at what Twitter, yeah, if you look at the, I don't know what Twitter you're following, but what I see is that the narratives, there's like 3 narratives right now which are trending on Twitter. Let me see if I can just scroll down on my Twitter and find. Usually I can. Apart from all the news in Russia and Israel, let me see if I can find something very easy to find. Usually I can. Look here, look, this is one. AI. The AI industry has immense potential. You see that? So that's one of the narratives that I always see on my Twitter feed. And then the other narrative I see is something else. Let me just see if I can find it. See this? RWA, real world assets. Okay. And then the last one, I probably won't find it now because I'm not that lucky to get 3 in a row, but it's a decentralized physical network. So you've got 3 narratives that are trending, but actually I think the biggest one is going to be AI. And then the second biggest one is real world assets. And then BlackRock, there was an article, let me find it for you. Let's see if I can find it. Here it is. Have a look at this. I'll post it in for you. You see that? BlackRock's $10 trillion tokenization vision, the future of real world assets. You see that? You can read the article. I just posted it. Have a look. Okay. So BlackRock has only just begun. This is not the end. This is the beginning. The Bitcoin ETF is the beginning. Anyone who's involved in crypto isn't just looking at Bitcoin and ignoring the rest. They're looking at Bitcoin as the beginning, and then now they're looking to take over the whole of the crypto. It's like the internet. You don't just go, Google is the internet, let's forget about all the other companies out there and social medias and applications. You don't just go into the App Store and say, I'm only going to use this app and I'm going to ignore the other tens and thousands of apps on the App Store. You know, when you're looking to be an investor, you'll be looking at a portfolio of different apps based on different narratives that are emerging in the market. Okay, so real world asset tokenization is one of the narratives, and you see here BlackRock has a vision for real world asset tokenization, and Dtravel is tokenizing travel. Does that make sense? The recession and the future. Well, look, you're talking about a future recession. There's a couple of things that are going to happen. I'm going to try this here. Now you can see me. There's a couple of things that are going to happen. Firstly, we're in the elections. This is an election year in America. So it's quite a big year. And in an election year, and also just after the election year, usually what happens is the markets rally. Yeah, the markets don't go down, they usually go up. In election years, they go up. Okay. And the other thing is the recession's already here, and Bitcoin is at the all-time high. Not only is Bitcoin at the all-time high, look at the S&P 500. Yeah. Look at this. All-time high. S&P 500. That's the American index of the top 500 companies. All-time high. All the markets, they're all on all-time highs. If I go here and have a look at Apple or whatever, they're all at all-time, Nvidia, they're all at all-time highs. And we're in a recession. Okay. The other thing is that now inflation is under control. You're going to get printing of money again. It's going to begin again. So they're going to bring interest rates down, and they're going to start printing money again, because the governments don't have enough money. That's really the problem. So they have to print off money to pay off their debts and to invest in new, whatever it is they're investing in. That hasn't begun yet. Once that begins, you're going to see a massive rotation of capital from the dollar to assets. Okay, that's what's going to happen. Okay, well, it's not happening yet. And look, the dollar, this is the dollar index. Okay. Let me have a look at the dollar index, actually. That's quite interesting. Let me hide some of this stuff. All right. What do you see? Well, I see ranges. I always see ranges. I don't see anything else. There's no trend. There's no trend here. It's just a big range. Okay. And we're basically, what I'm seeing is that we're in the highs of a range. Okay. If you look historically, there's a very important level here. It's an SR flip. You can see it's very rough. You can see there was a little bit of support, resistance, resistance. Something was going on here, resistance. Again, it became resistance here. It went up, and now we're forming resistance again. You see that? So there's a very important higher time frame SR flip going all the way back to July 2017. We were able to go above it, but we failed to hold it as support, and now we've back tested it as resistance. That's what's happened then. So right now, as far as I can tell, the DXY has failed to reclaim a higher time frame support and resistance line into support. And then also what I'm seeing is on the higher time frame a lower high. These are lower lows. What we're putting in now is a lower high. We've lost the key SR flip. We've back tested it as resistance, and as far as I can tell on the higher time frame, we're at the top of this range. Right now we're at the top of the range. You know where we're heading? Probably down. Probably down. And then the question is, do we make a lower low or not? That's the question. We don't know that. We've just made a lower high. We could come down here and make a higher low. It's possible. And what you could be forming with the DXY, if we don't make a lower low, we'll make a higher low. And what you could be forming with the DXY, very possible, is some kind of pattern like this on the higher time frame. Yeah. But if you look at where we are in the DXY, we're in the highs. We're in the highs of this range. We've made a lower high. We've not been able to flip this line into a support line. We've back tested it. If you look at the high, this is a 3-month time frame. You can see here where the candle comes in. You've back tested it as resistance. That's your resistance line. Okay. And I honestly think that the next destination is probably down. You have a really important trend line here. Okay. And we've lost that as well in the higher time frame. Let me hide that brush stroke. Let me just change that to Golden Pocket. Do you see there's a trend line there? I don't know if you can see it. Okay. This is the trend line. We lost it there. We reclaimed it there. And then here we've come to it. Lost it, reclaimed it, lost it, and we're underneath it again. Okay. So we're underneath this trend line. Okay. We've lost this key SR flip. We've lost the key trend line. We're at the top of this range. I think it's good to go down, actually. And how far could it go? Well, let me show you. The way it works with this with candles. Do you see how you've got this bullish green impulse? This is on the monthly time frame. You haven't really created much support on the way up. Yeah, you see this red candle here? That's your support level. But do you see the green candle that goes down? It's already cleared the liquidity from that level. So actually the next real support on the way down is there, that red candle there. This one is cleared. You see how the wick goes down, it clears the liquidity, and then the next level of support is at the lows here. These are the next two levels of support on the DXY. That's down 10%, and here it's down 14% on the DXY. Okay. If I coincide that with some kind of fib level, I've got it here. Let me see. Fib. 50% mark. I think the 50% mark is probably the area of interest, because you're coming into these lows here with some important levels. I think it's probably heading down to there. I don't think that level will hold necessarily. And in the same way that the price ascended very quickly, you're going to get a very quick descent. Exactly the same behavior. In exactly the same way. If you lose these lows because the descent is so impulsive and you just only manage to get back up, look at this ascent. This ascent was so fast as well that it's very likely that you'll descend very quickly too the second time. Just fill all of that. In the same way the ascent was very quick, it's very possible that if you lose these lows and you back test this 50% mark as resistance, that you're going to get another crazy sell-off on the dollar, and then you're just back into this lower part, which would make sense. Maybe forming some kind of higher time frame equal triangle like that. Okay, so I think in the context of what I'm seeing, I'm not really worried about the recession. I think the cycle is going to be much shorter than people expect. I think Bitcoin is doing things that people don't expect it or never expected. They didn't expect it to cross the 618 on the higher time frame before the Bitcoin halving. No one expected that. And so when you're looking at the higher time frame, I'll show you what I mean. Bitcoin has never been able to get above the 618, which is that golden pocket before the halving. Before the halving, it's never been able to get there, and it did that. Bitcoin has never made an all-time high before the halving. It's done that. So what I'm seeing on Bitcoin is a V shape, yeah, on the higher time frame. For me, that's a monthly V-shaped recovery. So actually what I'm imagining is from the neckline break to about $300,000. That's what I'm imagining. I'm thinking we're going to go up to 300,000, and I'm only looking at the log chart. I don't really care about the price chart, the normal chart. I think once you're in price discovery, which is where we're going to be. Now, I don't necessarily think it's going to go up in a straight line. I think the blow off top could be a straight line, yeah, and we may get the same situation. We may get like a bump and run, yeah. So let me just kind of show you what I'm thinking. We have a potential steep trend line here. I think I drew them out. Not there. Bull market trend lines there. Okay. So we have some trend lines. We might be on this steep one now. Okay. If we start ascending on this steep trend line now, you know, I don't know how we're going to go up, but let's say we just bounce off this trend line. Timings are really important, so I don't want to lose track of the timings. Let me just work out the timings actually. Okay. Let's just say we end here, okay? Beginning of March, exactly 1 year from now. That's what I'm thinking. And let's just say we're aiming for 300,000. somewhere there. Let me get rid of this box. So what I'm thinking is this. Don't know how this behaves, but let's just say for the sake of argument we do go up. Then we lose that trend line. We'll come back into this one. This is our main trend line. And then we just follow this trend line up. Okay. And then you have a bump. That will be a bump. So you're ending up with exactly what I was talking about on USDT, which USDTD, which is like a bump and run. That's what I'm imagining actually. A bump and run forming on Bitcoin. So let me just get the image. That's the image here. Let me bring it to Bitcoin. Something like that. Okay. So you have your lead in, which is here. And actually here you'd probably have some kind of another trend line form. And here, like a steep one, taking us all the way to our higher target. As you come into bounce here, you have a crazy rally all the way to your target, and that's when you start losing value, and then you lose the trend line and you go down like that, just like this. Okay, I am kind of imagining something like that until I see something different. I'm thinking it's going to get really crazy like that, and no one can predict the future, but I think it could make sense because we are in price discovery, and the only way to follow the price in price discovery will be these kinds of trend lines, because you don't really have historic price action. Yeah, there's nothing to base, there's no volume levels, so people will be looking at these trend lines, and they will also be looking to take profit at key fib extensions and trend-based fib extensions. That's really how people will be looking at the price. And I think it's going to get really bullish, and we probably will be forming something like this. I'm thinking that way at the moment. So that's why I'm very attuned to these trend lines. That's why I'm really tracking them. I'm really keeping an eye on them. Please educate me, if someone purchased a coin and the coin went down 40%, in this case, DCA is the best strategy or something else. It depends on the coin, actually, and it depends on how much capital you have, and it depends on your higher time frame strategy and your horizon. Your time horizon really makes a difference and really matters. So let me show you. You must understand that we're in a bull market now. So it's a lot easier to buy in a bull market. This is TRVL, and a dollar cost averaging strategy through the whole of this bear market wouldn't have worked. Yeah, it's not going to work because the price hasn't bottomed out. Okay, you have to wait for the price to bottom out. Once the price bottoms out, you know, then it will work. You get 30%, 40% pullbacks. You can just continue dollar cost averaging into the lows. Your dollar costing average into the pullbacks. That will work. Yeah. So your time horizons really does matter. And also what matters is how much capital you have on the side. Because if you're all in and you don't have much, then you're going to struggle. Okay. Dan, hi, how's it going? Of course, I'm going to have a look at it. Give me a second. So I think it really, what you have to be thinking about, like when I'm looking at TRVL, I'm telling people don't just buy, wait for the price to stop and look to accumulate at the good areas. And that will be, you can dollar cost average in, because as the price slows down, you can dollar cost average in. That's not a bad idea. Right now on TRVL, you're getting it 33% cheaper than the local high, but a good place to really, but the best place to buy it, as far as I can see, is probably between 6.2 and 7 cents, you know, and that's going down to 6.2. You're down another 23%. The best way to do it in this situation is to place limit orders, or wait until you hit your target and then start buying. Okay, I don't know, every token is slightly different. And the other thing about dollar cost averaging is that you're not dollar cost averaging just on price. It's about dollar cost averaging is also based on time. Yeah, scaling isn't just based on price, it's also based on time. If the price moves from $10 to $5 in one day and you scale in based on price, you're going to be in trouble. Because if it goes down in one day to $5 and you've just scaled in based on price just in that same day, what if the price continues going down? Yeah, what you need to do is scale in based on time. That's really, it's more important than price in most cases, because then you're getting the average price over time. Yeah, so a lot of people don't consider time when they thinking about dollar cost averaging. Time is potentially more important than price when you're dollar cost averaging. So when you're looking at the weekly time frame on USDT versus TRVL versus USDT, it wasn't just about price, it was also about timing. And here you can see the weekly red candles are good places to the close of the weekly red candles will always give you the best entry here. So it isn't just about price, it's about time. Yeah, and the time, according to what I'm suggesting here, is the weekly red candles. You have the best price at the best time. It's a combination of the two. Does that make sense? And then when you're scaling in, you're buying the same amount at the same time. You're not suddenly going, oh, the price is 50% cheaper, I need to buy more. It's always the same. That's why that's called dollar cost averaging. So you end up with a good average. Okay. Yeah, there's different strategies for doing it, and it's never going to work if you don't have capital on the side. Yeah, if you're all in, it's never going to work. None of your strategies are going to work if you're all in. So that's something to note. All right, Dan, let me have a look at this quickly for you. You know what I want to do actually is I'm going to do a side-by-side comparison, because I haven't done this in a while. And I'm just going to see if I see anything interesting. Not Bitcoin. That would be nice, huh? There is a correlation. I'll show you. Ignore these yellow lines. This is the KuCoin chart. So let me actually go to KuCoin. They're both on KuCoin. Let me get rid of this scan. So the different strategies that you can use would be this. I think first and foremost, you can see that they're following each other. Against Bitcoin, it went sideways here, and the USDT price went down. Then they went down together. They went up together. And then they went down together, except on the Tether, it went down less than on Bitcoin. See that? Bitcoin, it went down much more. But in terms of the movement, they went down together. And now, as we're ascending, you can see that they're going up together. Okay? So, to all intents and purposes, they're similar, except that against Bitcoin, during this sell-off where Bitcoin was rallying earlier last year, TRVL lost a lot more value. Yeah, it sold off more, but as far as I can see, the charts are very similar. Okay, they're very similar charts. That's just an observation. Okay, and the question was, I'm looking to convert some BTC to TRVL. Okay, so the question really is, do you convert it to TRVL when TRVL is on Bitcoin support, or do you convert it to TRVL when TRVL is on USDT support? That's the real question. Do you look at the USDT chart and then use your BTC to convert, or do you do it based on the Bitcoin chart? Just focusing on the Bitcoin chart. That's a tricky question. Because I know on the Bitcoin chart, sometimes it ignores support lines. That's the problem. So what I'm seeing is like, you could have at any point in time that you bought Bitcoin, TRVL at the point of control would have been good. Yeah. And for the last how many weeks? Look how many times we've come back into the point of control and the price has reacted off it, all the way to when we closed above the point of control at the 8th of January. The point of control has basically been the best place to accumulate. But what I'm also seeing is I'm seeing buying and selling, buying and selling. I'm seeing a lot of trading. Yeah. And then the price range is quite high. It's about 50%. So from TRVL to the highs of this mini range, it's up and down 50%, 50%, 50%. It's quite volatile. Whereas if you look at the USDT chart, it's not as volatile. The USDT price is going up. Okay. We just have to look at the 3-day chart. See if there's any difference. I still think you want to get it on the point of control. I don't know if it's possible. You've got this really powerful wick into the lows like this, closed higher. It'd be very weird to go back down like that, but as far as I can tell, that's really where you want to catch TRVL. That would be the best price. Yeah. It doesn't really matter about if you're just trying to convert from BTC to TRVL, it doesn't really matter about this price, does it? You're only really focused about catching this price at the best price, and at the moment this is the best price. So let me just focus in on that. Oh, I've got this scan. No, that's rubbish. A good place to sell is when we come into this monthly level up there. That's at about 4,000 or so sats. If and when we get there, and I think I've marked off this 3 monthly level as well, which is at 2,135 sats. Good places to sell back into Bitcoin when you're going up, on the way up. There is this scan fan that seems to be reacting. We just do these volume levels because I get frustrated having to redo these every time. It's annoying. Why isn't it drawing? That's interesting. Okay. Did I not do volume before? Oh, I did, yeah. There they are. Okay. So the value area low is higher. Wow. That's that's interesting. That's really bullish, huh? What do you see this? You see how we have the previous volume area and now it's higher. So that's really bullish what I'm just seeing now. And the volume area is slightly higher. The value area is slightly higher. The point of control is exactly the same place, but for the value area to come up is really bullish because now everyone who accumulated down at 600 or so sats is relatively speaking very safe because they're outside the low of the value area low. So the value area has actually increased in value. That's what I'm seeing. This high volume node is still there. It's still relevant. And then what I did before was these ranges. Very rough. And so I think we're in this middle range now. We've cleared these lower two ranges. It's very messier, but it was a very messy analysis. So we're in this possibly a good place to pick it up if we get back down would be about 1,000 or so sats, 1,024 through to the point of control, which is 46 probably. But you see we have this high volume node here as well. Sometimes those high volume nodes are good places. Like I always think a high volume node is not a bad place. And if you can see, there is a little bit of reaction, and here you can see there's a little bit of support. So if we do come back down, it is possible we find a little bit of support, or at the very worst case we can come down there. And then again, of course, if we go all the way down to the point of control is definitely going to be the best place to pick up BTC. Yeah, so you've got a few areas just based on volume at about 1,070, between 1,027 and 1,077, and then all the way down at 849. Anywhere down here would be amazing because you're really in a strong area. It's like the point of control and the value area low, but it would look bearish, but it would be a really good place to pick it up. And I think if this scan fan is in play, which it looks like, we're coming into resistance still. Eventually what we want to see is we want to flip that into support, the high volume node into support for continuation. Then we're coming to the next level of interest, which is going to be slightly higher, I think. Probably there. We may react again off this scan line, but hopefully we'll go up into the value area high. And I think that will be a good place to that 2,000 or 2,100 to take profit back into BTC and see what happens. Eventually, what we want for the price is to go up, find support above the value area high, and then we can have continuation. That's eventually what we want. Just bear in mind that I think Sensei and the Travel app are going to be launched this month. Yeah, and I don't know what that means. No one can predict the future price action, but I'm desperately trying to sell a property really quickly now because I want to buy more. It's a race against time because like we're at 8 cents now. I'd love to buy a whole bunch at 8 cents. I would love that. So this is the 3-month candle in BTC. I mean, it closed here, like there is a level there, you see. That's the dividing line. I think once you clear it and get above it, that will be your kind of support line. Now we're just pulling back for liquidity, I think. How far do we go? Really what we need to do is we need to take out that high, actually. That'll be an all-time high. We need to go up there, take out the high, make a higher low, and complete an inverse head and shoulders pattern for a breakout. That's what we need to do. And then your target would be from the neckline to the head, and that would be about 61,000 or so sats from the current price. That's a 51x on Bitcoin, 51x on Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin, it all depends then on the value of Bitcoin, because if you can 51x on Bitcoin, it all depends on Bitcoin's value then. That would be your target. There you got a 2-to-1 extension. I think that if you form a higher time frame inverse head and shoulders, I would be looking for a 2-to-1, a 1-to-2 rather. It would make sense, and you'd be in price discovery as well, and that would peak in alt season. That would be a 50x from the current price on Bitcoin. So 50x on the current price, I'll tell you. We're at 8 cents now. Times 50. That would be $4. That's just a 50x on the current price. But this is a 50x on the Bitcoin price. So depending on Bitcoin, if Bitcoin, where Bitcoin is at 70,000, if Bitcoin 2x's, then actually you're looking at 100x. But if Bitcoin goes up much higher, so it all depends on the price of Bitcoin. If the Bitcoin goes up from 70 to 280, like a 4x, and you're doing a 50x on Bitcoin, then that's a 50x. That's a 200x on the current price, which is 8 cents. That will put us at about $16. So then it will totally depend on Bitcoin. But if we do form some kind of inverse head and shoulders, I would be expecting to get to the 1-to-2 on that pattern. But obviously at every level you'd be looking to take profit. You wouldn't just necessarily hodl. Probably at the 1.618 you'd be looking to take your major profit, and then if you get a runner, then you get a runner. And actually I can't see any like higher time frame Elliott waves here yet either, so we haven't had that kind of Elliott waves against Bitcoin yet. I can't see it. Nope, none of this is Elliott waves. So I'd like to see that actually. That, for me, that would be a lot more pertinent to see Elliott waves against Bitcoin, to see 5 waves against Bitcoin. Right, don't know if that helped. Hi Jayway, how's it going? Amir, you are not seeing a big correction near future when everyone is bullish and greed is high. I think right now, do you know what I'm seeing right now? I'm seeing the ETFs buying a shitload of Bitcoin. That's what I'm seeing. I'm not seeing anything else, and I'm not seeing crazy greed right now either. I'm seeing a lot of hesitation. Yeah, I'm not seeing the FOMO that is required to push the price up, which is crazy greed. Okay. I'm not seeing the FOMO yet, which comes hand in hand with greed. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of hesitation. I'm seeing a lot of people nervous because a lot of people are hoping or expecting a correction, and then they're not buying, waiting for a correction. That's not greed. That's the fear of a drop, but it's not the fear of missing out. That anticipation for the greed comes with fear of missing out. We're not seeing that yet. I don't think people are afraid of missing out yet. Yeah, because the Bitcoin bull market hasn't halved yet, and because we're only trading at the all-time high from the last bull market. Yeah, wait until FOMO comes. That's when you're going to start seeing greed too, because FOMO compounded with greed is going to push the price up really fast, and it's going to push it much further than people expect. So I don't know, I don't see why we don't push higher. You know, I just don't see why we don't push higher. And I don't think retail are going to get involved until the end of this year, maybe November or so, December. Up till then, you might get all of the institutions just pushing the price up. Sure, we could get corrections, but every correction that I'm seeing gets snapped up. Look, you're not getting the crazy bearishness. When I'm looking at the order flow on exo charts, I'm seeing higher time frame bullish divergences. I go to this is a 4-hour time frame. Let me go to the daily time frame. Yeah, this is the daily time frame. You see higher lows, yeah, higher lows, and you see the CVD is going down, lower lows, higher low on the price, lower low on the CVD. I'm just seeing massive bullish divergence on the higher time frame, all the way from 40,000. Yeah, you see the CVD is lower, and look at where the price is. It's at 70,000. This is absorption. You're getting large limit orders, big whales that are absorbing the sells. People are selling, but the price keeps on going up. That's what this is. You see the CVD is going down. This is selling. This is market selling, and the price keeps on going up. I'm not seeing what you're seeing. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. I'm seeing bullishness. I'm not seeing bearishness. I'm seeing people buying. I'm not seeing people selling. I'm expecting higher prices. I'm not expecting lower, really. And yeah, who knows? We'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if we get some kind of trend line, some kind of higher time frame bump and run. What do you think of social fi Web3? Time is it? It's 12. Also. You see the Bitcoin, this correction is decreasing volume. See this whole correction? You see how the volume is actually decreasing, and the price is just correcting sideways. It's not bearish, it's bullish actually, to see that kind of behavior. Gary. Bro, Gary is a piece of shit, dude. I looked at it yesterday, and Gary is a piece of shit. So I don't know what you have to do with Gary or who you are. Are you a representative of Gary? Are you trapped in Gary? You know, I don't know who you are. actually. Yeah, but I looked at Gary yesterday, and all I saw was rubbish. I didn't see anything positive. And I'm going to show you right now. And then also I'm going to put a video and I'm going to explain my reasons if that's what you want me to do. But I don't think I will, because I'm not looking to try and FUD a project. I'm just telling you what I see in the charts. Let me hide all of the stuff. Okay. All right. This is Gary. This is the 3-month candle in Gary. Yeah, these are 3-month candles. Right. And in the last 3 months, guess what? The price went down. Yeah, the price closed lower. In the last 3 months, the price closed down 5%. 5%. Yeah. In a bull market, in the last 3 months, the price closed 5%. Okay. What does that tell you? Now, let me just pick any random token. A random one. I don't even know what these tokens are. How about VeChain? Or near. Let's go to near. Okay. In the last 3 months, the near token is up 94%. Gary is down 5%. The previous 3 months, near is up 227%. The previous 3 months, Gary is down 4%. Okay. So Gary is a piece of shit, dude. Why are you sticking with Gary? If you would have dumped your Gary and bought near 6 months ago, yeah, you'd have been up 500%. Why are you hoping for something? You're like hoping for the Gary to go. It might go up. It might go up, but you know what? It might also go down. You just don't know. No one knows what's going to happen with Gary. But there's no bullishness in the chart. I can't see bullishness. Look, the price just has been going down and down and down. Okay. Until the price becomes bullish, no one is going to be interested in this token. It's just the way the market works. We're in the middle of a bull market now. We're at the beginning of a bull market. Tokens are pumping. Sorry, wrong one again. Stupid. That's near. This is AGX. Look, AGX is up 325%. Gary is down 5%. Atom in the last 6 months, yeah, Atom is up 67%. In the last 6 months, Gary is down 18%. Gary is down 18%. Atom is up 60%. XRP. XRP hasn't done great, but look, even XRP is more bullish than Gary. XRP is up 21%. And guess what? Gary is down 18%. What else do you want me to look at? I've been charting Quanks. And Quanks in the last 6 months, yeah, is up 275%. What about Flare? Let's have a look at Flare. 272%. Let's have a look at GRT. 339%. I'm just picking random tokens. It's a new one. Huh? Fetch. if you were to put your money in Fetch, you'd already be up 1,305% by now, and you're still holding on to Gary. Yeah, but the problem that you have, and I've explained this to you, I don't think you're listening. Okay. I think you're finding it difficult to understand how the market works. Sure, it's gonna pump. It's gonna pump. But guess what? Everything's gonna pump. Yeah. The difference between Gary and say something like Fetch is that the Gary will pump, and then all these people who've been sitting in there in this token without any price movement are going to sell, all of them. Why? Because other tokens are pumping and they're not dumping. This one will dump. Fetches will pump, but it won't dump. It'll just keep on pumping and pumping and pumping because people aren't, they won't sell because they're still bullish. They're crazy bullish on Fetch. The minute Gary pumps, you're going to see a sell-off. And I wouldn't be surprised if you get the next pump in Gary, you get a really crazy sell-off. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens, because there just isn't enough interest in Gary. Because look, all these people who have been accumulating are negative, aren't in positive equity. They're negative. Okay. If you do, it's a risk. It's a gamble. You're gambling. With Gary, you're gambling. You're just gambling. That's all you do. And I don't know how much value you have invested in Gary, but right now you're gambling. Yeah. You don't gamble everything. You gamble a little bit, but actually I'm showing you that a lot of other tokens have much higher, better prospects for the longer term. I keep on talking about TRVL. Do you have any TRVL? Do you have any TRVL? This is the 3-month candle. I've been talking about TRVL on my YouTube channel. The last 3 months, it's up 200%. Yeah. And I'm expecting TRVL to get to at least $5. That would be another 8,600%. 8,600%. The minute Gary goes up 451% to this line that I have now, yeah, guess what's going to happen? Big sell-off. Yeah. So Gary's going to go up 445% and you're going to get a big sell-off. Only 445%. It's a shit coin, dude. It's a really shit coin. I'm sorry to say, but it's a shit coin. You just, I don't see any hope for this token at all. It doesn't matter how good it is. I don't think you're being realistic. There's too much downward momentum. There's too much trap liquidity. There's too much bearishness on this token. I can't see any interest. I can't see it. Okay. I don't think so. I think it's just gambling right now. I am seeing volume. Yeah, I am seeing volume. I'm not gonna lie and say I don't see volume. Yeah. There is volume. But that doesn't necessarily mean the price is going up. And even if it goes up, like I said, you go up, let's say you go up 400%. I'm sure you're going to get a big sell-off. Okay. And then the next question is, will people buy the dip? And I think most people who sell, if the price goes up, will never come back to this token because it's performing so badly. And one of the reasons why they won't come back, excuse me, is because the momentum is a strong downward momentum. You see that weekly moving average? Let me have a look at the 3-day weekly moving average. It's quite a strong down momentum. you'll get a snap back. You'll get this kind of behavior, and then you'll get that. And then that's the real test to see if people buy back. I don't think people are going to buy back because this is such a bad performing token. The whole market is pumping, and anyone who would have put their money in any other token would already be up 300-400x by now, percent by now. And the problem with Gary is that launch price. There's a lot of trap liquidity there. I just don't see the price getting above that level. Yeah, I just don't see it. There, the golden pocket, the launch price. You've got trap liquidity in this volume range. I've told you this all before. I'm not trying to, I'm just telling you what I see. It's actually a bit lower. You might not even get up there, to be honest with you. You're still in the volume area. You're putting in so much volume now at this level. Yeah. And this is a real danger with this token. I just want to tell you what could happen. You're putting in so much volume now. Yeah, at this level. I don't know where the volume's coming in. Here. Call it high volume node. The point of control is lower down here. That's the point of control. If you flip the point of control from this lower line to this higher line, because you've just put in more volume, that's quite bearish for the point of control to move up and still be in this range. It's quite bearish. And if the point of control moves up and you lose the point of control, then this token is in real trouble, because then you're probably heading down. Okay? And what will happen, what's going to happen, is the minute the token goes down, if you lose this lower level here, all of these people are going to sell. They're all going to be trap traders and they're going to sell. You're going to have downward pressure. As soon as you start losing these levels, you're going to have sell pressure again. Yeah. After such a long time with the price not moving, all this volume coming in, if the price can't move up, you're going to get sell pressure. And guess who's selling right now? Who's selling? There's a lot of volume coming in and someone is selling. Yeah. Guess who it is? Whoever bought here. Someone bought this here. Maybe also there was a buy there. So on average, their average price is probably this point of control. Probably here. And right now the price is about 50 or 60% on their entry on their position. Maybe they got much lower. We don't know. Maybe they got in from the lows here and they're up 200%. And these people who entered here are selling. They're selling. They're not holding. They're selling because you're putting in so much volume here. Where's that volume coming from? They're selling. So they're telling people this is bullish, but they're actually selling. And eventually what's going to happen is all these people that are buying, whoever it is, they're going to get trapped. The price is going to fall. And then all these people are going to sell at a loss. Exactly the same thing happened here. And then maybe whoever it is that bought here, they haven't managed to sell all their position. And they will be the ones that sell. You'll get exactly the same kind of behavior that you had here. This kind of behavior. Get another sell. And then all of these people, like yourself, who's trapped, are going to end up selling like this. You'll end up you're basically, this token is dead. I've looked at their website. It doesn't matter. I don't care. The charts don't lie. I can see what's happening. Nothing's changed. I've seen this. Look. There's nothing there, dude. It's just a piece of shit. I could have written that. I can make that stuff up. Where's the roadmap? Upcoming roadmap. There's nothing there. I could create a website, launch a token, and I can just write the same thing. It's just made up. All of this is made up. Chingari Holdings Limited. What was that? TikTok rival Chingari, huh? I don't see the roadmap. Where's the roadmap? Oh, there. Well, where's look, quarter four 2023. They still haven't completed staking on Aptos desktop version, audio chat. They're behind. Yeah. And what is this? Aptos, marketplace, wallet. It's all too late. Mining Reef. It's all too late. You know, the Bitcoin bull market is upon us. This is too late. All of this is too late. They've had all of this time to develop. Yeah. This was my business, and I'm into business, you know, I'm an entrepreneur as well. For me, this whole thing is a failure. This whole roadmap, this whole timeline, the lack of awareness of the Bitcoin bull market, all of this is a failure for me. I would never invest in this. I don't care if the price goes up. Yeah. When I look at the charts, I see a lot of trap traders. If the price goes up, I see all of these people selling and the price coming right back down. Yeah. I don't see people hodling this for the whole duration of the bull market. You have a lot of trap liquidity in this down move here. So even if you actually end up going up, a lot of people here are going to look to sell. Like, you're not going to get far before you get selling pressure. Yeah. How far are you going to get? I don't know. But I think there's a lot of easier tokens out there to make money. And there's a very competitive market right now. There's thousands of tokens. Honestly, if you were to just dump this and put your money in a meme coin, a Solana meme coin, like Slurf, you'd end up making more money. Probably. This one, Slurf. Why? Ask me why and I'll tell you why. Okay? The reason why you'll probably make more money on Slurf, okay, is there's a lot of liquidity on Slurf. There's a lot of people interested in Slurf. It got the highest volume of trading of any token that's been launched. Okay. And tokens which launch during Bitcoin, when Bitcoin is correcting, are so bullish, ridiculously bullish, because when Bitcoin pumps, guess what? Not only is this going to pump, but it's going to be in price discovery. When Bitcoin is pumping, when Bitcoin starts pumping, this token is going to be in price discovery. There's no volume. Yeah. So this is going to go up a lot. And I wouldn't be surprised with this token, Slurf, that we end up with 100x from where we are now. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if we end up with $50 on this token. No utility, absolutely no utility. It's about the mechanics of the market, and it's all about the bull market. Forget about the utility. It doesn't even matter. It's about liquidity. It's about supply and demand. Yeah, there's a lot of demand in this token. It doesn't even matter. No one cares about the utility. In the bull market, no one cares about the utility in meme coins. It's about making money and speculatively making money and going. And when Bitcoin starts pumping, this is going to be in price discovery. You're not going to have that problem that Gary has with trap liquidity. And this is on so many exchanges. There's a lot of money that's going to be poured into this token. You'll see. Yeah, you're thinking wrong. You're thinking it has to have utility. In the bull market, it's all about hype. It's not about utility. It's about hype. It's about awareness and hype. And this is, I mean, the strongest tokens are the ones that launch when BTC are correcting, actually. I have this going lower, which I had. I told people that Slurf wouldn't move, it would correct. It's just in the correction right now. Looks like we're having an ABC here. It'd be nice to pick it up there as Bitcoin comes into support. Excuse me. And then you'll be an all-time high. And then you're in price discovery. And I wouldn't be surprised if this just pumps, huh? Pumps. Wouldn't be surprised. Dude, after you're asking me, but the project with utility, after the dust settles, people will look for utility soon. No, after the dust settles, no one will be interested in crypto. No one cares about the utility. Yeah, look, after the dust settles, most tokens are going to correct nearly 100%. You're talking about the dust settling. You're talking about Bitcoin peaking, making a high at the end of the Bitcoin bull market. Guess what? Everyone is going to sell their tokens. They're going to dump all their tokens. They're not going to hold on to their tokens. Why would they? They don't care about the utility. If you own a token, yeah, it doesn't really matter what the token is. Let's just say Slurf. That's a meme. Let's say Prop S. Okay, Prop S is a real world asset. Yeah. If you would have put your money in Prop S, I actually posted a trade plan on Twitter. Okay. Do you want me to find it for you? I'm going to find it for you. I had a trade plan on Twitter. Okay. But let me find it. Hold on. But I have to find it on my own profile. How do I do that? Nope. I need to find it on myself. See. That doesn't work. The shit. This search utility is rubbish. How do I do for that? Nope. Oh, here it is. 5th of January. Yeah. Look at this. I posted this on the 5th of January. This trade may never come, but if it does, I've set alerts. Okay. And on the 5th of January, I had it coming all the way back to 2.1 cent. So let's go to the 5th of January. This is the 5th of January. There. Okay. This is the trade. Pull it in for you. Okay. Same time frame. Daily time frame. MEXC, same chart. And added as a volume pool all the way to the 5th of January. And I had a golden pocket trade from the pivot low here to the high that I had at the 5th of January. No, on the 1st of January. Golden pocket. Okay. And what happened was, even though the price was in the highs, I had the price coming down. Look, it came down into my level of 22.1 cents. See that? That was the trade. Okay. And now the price is 800% higher. Okay. It doesn't matter actually, because let me tell you something. It doesn't matter if that went up. The reality is that even though this value of this token is going up, at the end of the bull market, because this price is so highly overvalued, this is speculative valuation now. This isn't true value. This is speculative value. Yeah. The price of this token could go up to $40. No, you know, who knows? Everyone's going to sell, because anyone who entered in at this area here is now in life-changing money. The reason why people aren't selling now is because you're in price discovery. Yeah, there's no volume data. Because there's no volume data, there's no volume resistance. There's no trapped liquidity. Yeah. The reason why people aren't selling is because everyone's in profit. They don't need to sell. They can just hodl for higher. Yeah. You only start selling, people only start selling under two circumstances. If the prices go up, it gets up too much, so much that they're in so much profit that they start selling. Or if the price goes down and then they're underwater, they're no longer in profit anymore. Then they'll sell to cut their losses. But at the moment, this would probably go up and up and up, probably. At the end of the bull market, it doesn't really matter how much utility this prop base has. I think 99% of people will sell. Okay. Do you understand? Why? Because that you're dealing with life-changing money. Of course they're going to sell. They're not going to hold on. They're not going to go, oh my God, there's so much utility in this token. I'm just going to hold this forever. No, they're going to take their money and they're just going to wait for the bear market low. They're going to wait for the big correction. Why would they hold on? They're not going to, if the price goes up, however high, they're not going to wait for the price to, they're going to lose all of their unrealized gains because this token has good utility. Why would they do that? That's stupid. People who do that deserve to lose money. It's not going to happen. Okay, I think you're wrong, and we'll see. You know, in a year's time, we'll see who's right or wrong. 2 years time. I think if you're looking at Gary, I wouldn't be all in on that. Like maybe it'll go up, but I think the problem is you're gonna get some selling as the price goes up. That's what I see. Because you're getting selling now, like the price, you're getting volume, but you're getting selling. Yeah, someone is selling. Who's selling? Someone is. Well, I know who is selling. The people who bought down here, these people are up 100 or 200%. They're selling. They're not holding for higher. They don't care about higher prices. They're just trying to get their money out now. Now, what could happen is they could buy back lower. They could do, this whole thing could repeat. Yeah, we could get this kind of behavior. Either the price goes up and it corrects like that, or this would just go down like that. Then these people who sold, maybe they'll buy back. Yeah, maybe that will happen. The question here, I think, if you're interested in this token, if the price goes down, what you need to know two things. At the moment, it looks like it could go down. To me, it looks like it could go down. I don't know, but it looks like it could go down. But let's say it does go down. Then you have like an inverse head and shoulders possible. Yeah? Okay, an inverse head and shoulders. The question is, do you make another all-time low or not? That's the real question. If these people who bought here are selling here, are they going to buy back here? That's the question. And the question then is, all these people who are buying here, they'll be the ones selling because they're just closing their positions because they're taking too much of a loss. Do these people who made profit, are they going to buy back to hold the price to make a higher low? Yeah, we need to see if they make a higher low or not. If it goes down here and they make a higher low, and you suddenly see a massive injection of volume, this volume again, it increases here, probably into the golden pocket, or not, maybe lower. Who knows? I would want it to go as low as possible without making another all-time low. I wouldn't want to see an all-time low. Okay. If you are experiencing some kind of head and shoulder, you do go down and these same people buy here and then push the price up again. Then based on this pattern, your target is there. Basically the same distance as the head to the neckline, roughly. That's your target. And that's basically the culmination of your bull market for Gary, as far as I can see, if this happens. Yeah. If we go up now, it makes no difference because you're still going to see a big sell-off. But the difference up here is that everyone is going to sell, not just these people here. Literally everyone who is in this range, including yourself, will sell. I'm not going to hold. Who cares about the utility? That's the place to sell. Whatever happens, if you get up to anywhere close to 20 cents, is it 20 cents? It's the right place to sell. You would sell, and you would sell all your tokens. You wouldn't hold on to that, because everyone is going to sell. If everyone's going to sell, the price is going to come back down. No one is going to buy at 20 cents. They're going to be selling. Yeah. So it makes no difference. You could, from here to 20 cents, okay, you could do a 5x. It's possible. That's a 500% increase in value. But for this token to do that, I'll be expecting the rest of the bull market going up much higher. So you're still going to have better value in other tokens. Now, I'm not suggesting you take a loss. Yeah, but sometimes you know, if the trade is not going right, you have to start scaling out and start putting your value into other tokens. You know, like the trade, I don't think anyone who's accumulated here is enjoying this price action. Yeah, you're telling me this is an amazing app, right? This is what you're, listen to yourself. Listen to yourself. They have a lot of investors. They have a great roadmap. They have a great app, an amazing app. So what's going on? What's gone wrong? After all of the good things that you're telling me, what's the problem? Why isn't it pumping? If they've got the right words, AI, all that kind of stuff on their website. Oh, God. Where is it? I don't know. I've lost it. There it is. What's going wrong? What's the problem? 300 global crypto users, 200 million Chingari users. What's going wrong? What's the problem? Like, think about it. Well, I'm telling you, the charts aren't lying. These people who bought down here are selling. Yeah, just like the same problem here. Whoever the original investors, the founders, whatever, they rug pulled. They dumped their tokens on all these people that were accumulating here. It's the same thing. Same thing happened there. I didn't Google that. I can see it in the charts. Okay, and with all of that you're telling me, if this was a healthy project, at the current stage of where we are now, I think at the very least we should have been back at the all-time, at the launch price. This is the launch price. I think if this was a healthy project, it would have been made sense for this to be at the launch price. I think that would have been made sense. I'm looking at a lot of other tokens who've made all-time lows. They're back at the launch price now, just as Bitcoin is about to halve with increasing volume. And I do an analysis update on TRVL every day, okay, explaining that, you know, I've been doing TRVL since it was at 3 cents, 2 cents. We're at 8 cents. We got up to 12 cents. You know, you could have put your money in this and you would have been 3-4x. And this is underperforming at the moment. I'm expecting this to go up much higher. But if you look at any other tokens, I think they've got better prospects than Gary. Like, look at this one that I've got a little bit of this. It doesn't look good, but at the very least, it doesn't have the same problems as Gary. Okay. It's a very low market cap token and it's within the range. And the good thing about this is at least the point of control is in the lows. I like that. This is another token that I'm just holding on. It doesn't look good, but it's very different to Gary. I think these tokens will probably pump 10 times more than Gary, and they haven't run yet. You know, like this token hasn't run yet. There are tokens out there that haven't run yet. If you want, Ava is a better token. I think TRVL is better, but Ava is a better token. I've even done a higher time frame accumulation schematic on Ava. It's coming back into test this LPS at about 75 cents. But I've got Ava going up at least to the all-time high of $7, but probably it will overshoot at the peak of the bull. I think if Ava is able to get above the all-time high, then it's going to run, and you'll probably be looking at a $30 or $40 token on this token from where we are now, which is 83 cents. Why? Because I'm seeing a Wyckoff accumulation schematic. Why? Because from the last bull market, we have made a higher low. We haven't been able to get back down into this range. This is a higher low. See that? It's a higher low. And the next, after you make a higher low, guess what? Let's make a higher high, and then you're running. And actually, with a token like this, this could pump even higher. Simply because of what Ava is, what Dtravel is. Dtravel is very useful. You can book flights, book accommodation, book activities, and you can pay in crypto. See that? People use this. I wouldn't don't marry your bags. Yeah, you're like married to Gary. It's not a good idea, my friend. You're just gonna get yourself in trouble. You're gonna miss the bull market. I think that's the biggest danger now. That's the biggest risk. Yeah, don't miss the bull market. Don't go crazy on one token. You know, diversify. You know, don't be all in. Have a spread. You know, if Gary underperforms, fine. It's not a big deal. Like, it was a risk. You took a gamble. It didn't pay off. But whatever happens, if you're looking to try and, I don't know if you're underwater. I'm guessing the reason why you're so passionate is because you're negative. You know, for whatever reason, you've put in too much value, and you're underwater a little bit. I imagine that's really what the situation is. I'm not asking you to tell me, but I think just your exit plan for Gary is at about 20 cents. Okay. I just hope that you don't miss the bull market by then, because you might go up 400% or 300%, but you might be in a situation where you exit at break even or just above break even, and you're looking at the rest of the market. You'll see other tokens have pumped 100x or 50x or 20x or whatever, and you may FOMO in to other tokens, and you may lose all your value just because you've caught the bull market too late, whereas now we're still quite early. Yeah, so that's the danger, that's the risk. I think if you have a bad trade, you have to start taking losses, start scaling out. If you have a bad trade, I think this is a bad trade right now. I can't see strength, and right now is a very critical point in this token. No one knows. Could it go up? Of course it could go up. I don't know if it's going to go down or not. Of course it can go up. Yeah, but I do know there's a lot of trapped liquidity. And do you see all of these wicks? These are selling tails. Yeah, you see all of them? Just tells me that people are selling. They're not buying. I'm not seeing buying tails. I'm seeing these all people selling. But this is on the weekly time frame. Okay. What you want to see is you want to see buying. You don't want to see selling. You want to see buying. Okay. So I don't know. Let me just pick I'm just picking random tokens. This is Carver. I haven't even looked at it recently. All right. Let me show you this. Look at these buying tails. These are buying tails. See that? These are all buying tails. That means people are buying. On the weekly time frame, you want to see buying tails. Yeah. At the lows. You don't want to see buying tails at the highs. You want to see buying tails at the lows. That was just a coin I just picked. What's this one? VRA. Let's have a look at VRA. It's coming back to test. Okay. But I'm seeing buying tails. Yeah. I'm seeing lots of buying tails underneath these candles. Yeah, you see buying, 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 buying. I'm not seeing crazy selling tails. I'm seeing a lot of buying tails. And actually, that's what you want to see on your tokens at the lows. Just picking random tokens, to be honest with you. Solana is amazing. Just put your money in Solana and just don't even think about it. But again, it's the same thing. Look at the selling. Look at the buying tail. See that? It's a buying tail. Buying tails. All these buying tails. See where the price reverses? You see these buying tails. Right. I hope it helped. All right, I'm going to go now. I hope you have a good day. Don't risk what you can't afford to lose. What you can't afford to lose. Yeah, that's also a really important lesson. All right, I'll see you guys. I'll see you until tomorrow. Oh wait, David asked a question. I don't know if you're still here. I just short Bitcoin yesterday. I'm looking to long Bitcoin at, I've got a trade plan for a long. Here. At about 67,000. $67,215 thereabouts. There's a little bit of a range. I think that would be a good place to take profit or close. I've got a bit of confluence there. All right. Have a good day, guys. I'll see you.